Hi. Can you hear me, Sue?
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Hello.
Okay,
Just confirm we are live. All right, we are up. So we are live.
okay. Now, let's see, it's Yvette and Angie are the co-chairs of this one, right?
That's right.
Okay, so it's showtime.
All right.
Angie, we can't hear you, Angie.
You can't hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay. Is Yvette here?
She's on. I saw her school colors and stuff, but I don't know if she's with us right now, but
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. I'd like to open the meeting of the Personnel and Professional Contracts Committee meeting. Can we get a roll call, Sue?
Angela Banks,
Here.
Christina Bennett,
Present.
Joseph Clark, Antoinette Cousins,
Present.
Lewis Cross,
Here.
Sheila Goodwin, Donna Jones, Yvette Levy, here, Bobby Richardson, Albert Sanders,
Here.
Justin Stein. He's connecting. So Justin, I was just calling roll.
Okay, here.
All right. So we have 7, so we do have a quorum.
All right. Great. We are here today to evaluate responses to the RFPs for actuarial services, which we received 3 responses, and to the investment consultant RFP, which we received 7. So I guess a point of, I guess, clarification for me is what the actual goal is today. I mean, it's a lot of information. I don't know who has gone through how much of the information, but are we really looking to get to a point to identify parties that we'd like to bring in for interview? And do we have like a scoring rubric or anything at this point, Sue?
No, I think the goal for today would be to see if we can get to a point to be able to interview folks. We don't have any scoring rubric as of yet.
Okay, and typically for these types of evaluations, who all is going to be scoring? Really would like to come up with some clear guidelines. I know we've done scoring in the past where there have been trustees that scored some and not the others. So would just like to have a, clear guidelines up front so everyone knows what the expectations are. Do we have anything to model after?
Yeah, I think all trustees could score. I mean, we can do score sheets, certainly. And, I think we could use basically the criteria. I did do the little chart, and we could use the criteria, some of the questions and so forth that we've asked. Maybe that's something we could hone in on. The trustees want to look at something in particular, but that's not not something that's developed right now.
Okay. I know that typically, and this is just, I'll offer this as a recommendation. I know in the district, typically based on the RFP, we usually set out the criteria that the responses will be evaluated on, and it might be anywhere from, I don't know, 5 to 8 different criteria. If we could bucket the things, the various questions into categories and score them that way. I also think that from a scoring standpoint, that we would only include evaluations from trustees that score all of the proposals, in either one of the categories, just so that we are consistent and it's fair. So, does anyone else have any ideas or recommendations?
I would hope that we have a mechanism a little bit better than the one we had before, because it was kind of like you could add something on and you could pick, and it never did really, it wasn't concrete, it wasn't solid enough. So maybe scoring is on the table, but in the past, we've had the trustees, as I recall, first of all, if whatever the specs are, the RFP specs, just as we did when we chose the executive director, if they adhered to all of the specs and answered all of them, that's one filter. And then from there, we just would weed out and just do it by a vote instead of a scoring mechanism. But I guess we could, take a look at all of them, since we don't have anything on the table right now, Angie. I mean, what you're saying is right on, but I just hope that it's not going to be like the last time we had the scoring thing, because that was just, that was unbelievable. You and Yvette did a fantastic job, but it was very difficult. That's all I can say.
I agree. That's what I'm trying to avoid on this go round.
Amen.
Ms. Banks, I found that it worked. I was part of that process as the school board member when we brought in a governmental liaison person. And I think as long as the rubrics kind of fall in line with the RFP and the same questions is presented on the grading, the package will be one level of how they submit if they answer all the questions, but then the interview would be points, and then we would be able to tally up the points.
Any other comments, recommendations? Okay, so we have, for the actuarial services, we have the 3 firms that responded, including Buck, our incumbent, Milliman, and Foster and Foster. So having 3.
I'm just gonna, if we want to get into the details, we might want to go into closed session if we're going to talk about the details of each proposal.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I guess we need a motion. Is there?
Oops, sorry, wrong one.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah, hang on, let me get it up here. Here we go.
Ready?
Yeah, Sheila, go ahead.
I make a motion to close the meeting and that all records and votes to the extent permitted by law during the closed portion of the meeting be closed pursuant to section 610.021, subsections 1 and 12 of the Missouri Revised Statutes for the purpose of having a confidential or privileged discussion on legal or contract matters. Is there a second?
A second.
All right, well, it's been properly moved and seconded. So do we need a roll call vote too?
Angela Banks,
Yes.
Christina Bennett,
Yes.
Antoinette Cousins,
Yes.
Lewis Cross,
Yes.
Sheila Goodwin,
Yes.
Yvette Levy,
Yes.
Albert Sanders,
Yes.
and Justin Stein.
Yes.
Okay, so we have 8. Motion carries. Let me do a few things to get us.
Sue, I got the side letter from Mesereau, right? During
Okay.
the meeting.
All right.
So
Well,
just,
I'm not going to hang around though.
no, I don't expect you to.